Welcome to Reread, where I'm rereading through the expanded universe in chronological order. Folks, we are on the last two Clone Wars adventures. Frowny face, because they've been really fun to talk about. Volumes 9 and 10, let's start with number 9. Dexter Jettster is going through all this trouble. He's getting attacked by different creatures on this planet, and he's just going to get this slug. Why? Because when Obi-Wan visits, he's like, Obi-Wan, my good friend, look what I made you. And he puts this sliced up slug with lemon and garnish on it, and he goes, wow, and I don't know what it's called, a Slavonian cave slug. And then Obi-Wan takes a bite and goes, yep, just as awful as I remember. Yeah. He went, but Obi-Wan, my good friend, you said they were the best thing on the planet. He went, yeah, that's because the planet sucks. All of it's terrible. He said this was the least bearable, this is at least bearable to eat. It wasn't his favorite, and Jettster got it confused. He wanted to do something special for his buddy, so he went to that planet and went through all that trouble to make that slug for him. I love it. I love it. The next one, basically a clone wakes up. This is after Order 66, and there's a bunch of Jedi kids that a smuggler has, and the smuggler's like, oh no, this guy's going to find out about those Jedi kids. Well, he does, but for some reason, I guess his chip doesn't work because he's not Order 66. And he knows about Order 66. They tell him ever since Order 66, you guys are the bad guys. He went, how are we the bad guys? We're not the bad guys. We're the good guys. We're fighting the Separatists. He went, no, that was a long time ago. And so the Empire, come in and they see him. And they go, hey, you've captured one of our own and we're going to search this place for Jedi. Well, this clone decides to be a good guy and goes, don't worry about it. I already checked this place. There's no one but him and this his co-pilot. So, yeah, you can just take me. Thanks again for saving me, sir. He saved me. I've been adrift for so long in a stasis cube. He saved me from it. So he's actually a hero. So he doesn't turn in the Jedi. He kind of winks at one in the corner who's peeking out from the corner. So they're not all bad. All the clones aren't bad. I don't know. Again, an episode 3 story or anything after that, this is definitely after the end of the Clone Wars, at least a few weeks, if not months. Sounds like it's been a year. But they don't really say. But this is well past the Clone Wars, and it's in a Clone Wars. I don't really care. All right, so let's move on. The next one, Voss recounts a tale to Yoda about taking on he's going undercover, because that's what General Voss does. And he has it's the Red Hand people that he's going after in their gang, and their gang member kills herself instead of being taken into captivity, and Voss is just having a hard time dealing with that. Like, why would she jump to her death like that? I wasn't going to kill her. We weren't going to kill her. We're just going to imprison her. And because of this adventure and several others that I see in this one, I'm probably going to move. I can't remember which Republic issue I just did. I think it was 53. I'm going to move that up to 54. I'll probably mention that when I review whichever number it was. I'll revisit later, because I know that comic book I reviewed started a different storyline, and it seems like he went undercover a lot of times in between that. So obviously that issue needs to be moved up in the timeline. But it's the Clone Wars. Give me a break. I was trying to do the best I could. Man, the first time, now I'll talk about that later, but it was a mess going through the Clone Wars timeline the first time. It's a little bit clearer this time as I'm reading through it, but still muddy, muddy, muddy. Hey, let's talk about Mace. It's a Mace Windu one. He goes on this planet where there's no one living. He's like, what's going on? Suddenly they're all zombies now. They come to life and he gets captured by an energy vampire. Yes, an energy vampire. I think we've heard about these before in the Bantam era books. And this energy vampire is going to suck the life out of a Jedi and again, suck his life energy out and live forever. But I don't know how people are turned into zombies. Either way, something weird happens where there's an old droid whose master died by this energy zombie, and the old droid's master was a Jedi as well. And so he plays a message back to Mace Windu. The droid frees Mace Windu. The droid dies because the energy vampire kills him for freeing Mace. And then he and Mace read this incantation that switches the energy vampire's magic. So it makes all the zombies go after her instead, and so they, I guess, eat her alive. I don't know. And the other master's in a holocron too. He's like, I've been looking for another Jedi, so if you will, fellow Jedi, say the words after me, and it's all in weird dialect. Okay. And it could be that, I think there was a page or two where Mace probably saw it and, learned the lines himself, but it's like, that was really weird. That's probably one of the weirdest ones in the entire series. Okay, finally in volume 10, I should say, another great idea. The Separatists attack a planet that the Agricult Corps are guarding. A bunch of failed Jedi Padawans. If you don't get picked, you go to the Agricorps. So it shows these Padawans who aren't that good in the Force, but good enough to get by and defeat an entire army on their own. And their planet gets taken over eventually, but they escape and they go, where do we go? Back to the Jedi Temple to become Jedi Knights. They're not that good, but it's a really neat story. What happens, and that's another one. What a great story idea to bring Jedi onto a farm and talk about them. Well, that's probably not that interesting a story, but I'd be interested in hearing more about that. Again, very creative these tales are. Next one, Anakin fixes an old land speeder where he and Obi-Wan race down this canyon away from this Separatist who's trying to throw everything at them to kill them, but he doesn't. They make it through the enemy lines back to their home base. And it's got some humor. Anakin is a Jedi Knight, and he and Obi-Wan are making jokes back and forth. Master, hang on back there. And he said, hey, stop moving around up there. But he's fighting one of the aliens. And then like a big axe slams down right on the seat next to Anakin. Anakin looks and goes, oh, I see you're busy, Master. Never mind. And I don't know. It's kind of fun. The other one is Jedi Anzi or whatever. I don't know how to say this name. Basically, she's a new Jedi. She's kind of peppy and upbeat and like, ooh, that was a hurt in the arse or whatever she says. And Kiadi-Mundi's like, what did you just say? Kiadi-Mundi, Aya Secura, give her a mission to, there's a tube or something. They won't tell her what's in it, but she has to get it to this other post. Sneak past enemy lines. Well, she goes through all sorts of heck. And unfortunately, the tube gets broken or cut up or explodes or whatever, and she can't save it. So she goes back and she goes to the tent saying, "Hey, I don't have the whatever it was." And it turns out that Kiadi-Mundi and Aya Secura are there. She went, "What are y'all doing here?" Well, the real mission was with us carrying the whatever code breaker or whatnot. You were just a decoy so they could chase after you. And we knew you could take them because hey, you're a Jedi, ain't he or whatever. And she's like, really? That one wasn't that good, to be fair. But the last one was Clone Trooper chases after a rocket, some rockets that were meant to take out a bridge. He's setting up his big gun, and these little creatures on the planet steal his pack of missiles. And so he goes on this wild adventure to get them. He ends up to being in the river where underneath the bridge, and the missiles are kind of drifting up to the one of the support beams. And so what he does, he just takes his gun, fires it, and blows at the bridge from the bottom of the bridge. He swims back up, gets back up. His gun is still there on the top of this cliff. He takes it apart, puts it down, radios them and says, hey, mission accomplished. And then he looks around and the little creatures have stolen his gun. Now he's going chasing after them too. I get it. It's fun. Overall, should you read these? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you like Jenny Tartovsky's series, track them down. Hopefully they're not too expensive, but they're really fun to read. All right, folks. I'll see you next time.